comes unconsciously. If I end up doing that, just tell me. And I'm like, if everyone studies from here, will this still be a mode? Maybe. I don't know. See, it doesn't matter, where you're studying from. It's not the coaching really. The coaching is just a fit key. Okay, this kind of learning vibes with me. This kind of thing I like being here. This is fun for me. Now, whether you're studying here, whether you're studying with any of the other people we cannot name for legal reasons, but doesn't really matter. It's the person at the end of the day that makes or breaks it. It also depends on the kind of people who are also teaching, because sometimes they uh, scare students कि यार ये तुमने अगर ये नहीं किया ना, if you don't do this, no, if you don't buy our courses 1 2 3 4 courses, you will not clear, or your chances are low. हाँ, डर का माहौल फैला. See, you guys are making me speak in Hindi. Very nice, very nice, awesome. Um, you can use the chat, no problem, to put down stuff. But if you want me to look at some questions, there's a Q&A thing. Okay, for all things, for all sessions from here on, there's a Q&A over this button. If you want your question to not be missed, just go and do that. Yeah, the financial exploitation, I will not touch that. Otherwise, we'll be here for an hour. Awesome. Okay. Okay. We are live also, and we also have a good number of people that have joined. Q&A button. Q&A button. You guys can see, right? If you click on tools, the Q&A is right there. You click on the 3 button, and then you'll see tools. Can you see tools? Can someone tell me they see tools? Yeah, tools. You click activities. Yeah, whatever it is. Tools, activities, whatever it is. So if you want to ask questions, you can put it there. Yes, everything will be in English. If I say something in Hindi, I'll also try to repeat it. Don't worry. That's why I asked it. Awesome. Okay. So tools is the 9 dots in the bottom corner, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Before we even start, before I tell you what we're trying to do and orient you to what you're doing and all of that, what's going on, let me just do a quick poll to get to know you a little, because the last time we did a poll was when we were at 500 people. Since then, we have increased as a group at 900. Where is the poll? Your host can put poll, but I am the host. Okay. Yeah, but correctly. Okay. It's fine. Whatever. Can you just raise your hand if you are here for NetGRF? Wow, my entire team my screen just turned white. 197, 204, 220 hands raised, 245. 266. Okay. How many are here to basically looking? 28. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Great. Okay. Relax. Cool. How many of you have cleared your masters? Finished it, okay? You finished it, exams are done, not final semester exam waiting or something. Finished your masters. Okay. 160, 166. Okay, not bad. Okay, I got a good idea. You can put it down. Okay, I'm just going to lower everyone's hands till then. Okay, relax. Okay, how many of you are right now in your masters? Maybe first year, second year. Okay, awesome. Good number of people. All right. Okay. Gives a good idea of who is here for what and all that. Okay. Okay. No problem. Let me just share my screen. There's a good chance I might say something in Hindi because it just comes automatically. But if I do, just tell me if you missed out of something, if you didn't understand, ask me to repeat it. I'll do it. Okay. Because at this point it just comes out very naturally, very unconsciously because I have lived in Mumbai for all these years now. But bata do. Okay. Tell me. Speaking in Hindi to people who don't know, genius. Tell me if you didn't get something, if you missed something, if you didn't understand, just let me know. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. I didn't realize you guys would be laughing at that. But take it. Is my screen visible to everyone? It's not just a cute. Why isn't it a raccoon? You'll see. You'll see. But there's a reason why this person is here. This person is someone very important, and this person is very important for what we are going to do over the next 7 days for statistics, especially. Right? There are raccoons. You don't buy lots and lots of raccoons. Okay, I've kept Indian doors. Nice. Okay. So, very simply, you might already be aware of what is even going on, what we are trying to do. We are trying to call people who are experts in a way or who have taught for a long time now to come and help with UGC NET and to build a very good foundation. I don't mean basics. I don't mean basics. I mean a very good foundation. The two are different. You'll see. We want to be able to create a good foundation which can help you clear these exams. Because we believe that if you have the right skills, the right competency, you will clear this exam. And over the next few days, you'll also meet some other experts in the field who have given JRF, who have been doing working in this area for a while now. And they'll also tell you about the kind of person who clears NET, who clears JRF. It takes a very specific kind of person. It doesn't take a specific kind of book. You can't think that I will study 1, 2, 3, 4 books and I clear it. At least this is what I have learned from talking to all these people who have cleared it. It takes a certain kind of person, and we are going to meet these people. So, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to make this accessible. We're trying to make this basically affordable as well, right? We're trying to make it fun. We're trying to make it interesting. It basically, if I want to put it in like one line, I'm just going to say Gen Z, but much more affordable. That's it. Like the stickers you might have seen, the memes and stuff. It's very Gen Z coded. In fact, I'm pretty sure future classes it might also be a little Barbie coded for one of the classes for stats. Let's see. But yeah, that is the thing. Why have we left the Gen X boomers to handle education? Why not help our own? So that is what we're trying to do, while also trying to make it affordable. Because I remember that I had paid almost 44K for one of the classes that again we will not name for legal reasons, but I regretted it. I had worked for 5 months and saved that up, and that was a ridiculous amount of money for ridiculous quality. And we don't want any other student to go through that. So that is why we are here. and obviously we can't do it without your support. So let's do this. So schedule, I am not telling you guys exactly who is when and all of that. That is surprise. Okay. That is for you guys to just like learn eventually. You just show up and you're like, oh, this person, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. Otherwise, you won't show up for some. But the general structure, I have already told you, but I'll still tell again. Right, week one. Oops. Spoilers. Week one, we're mainly covering stats and research, stats and RM. और क्या था? Personality. What else was that? One more thing was there. I think biopsych also. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, biopsych also would be there. Yeah, I think towards the end of week one, biopsych would start. Then week two, stats and RM. Just gonna say and over here. Okay, and RM, and again biopsych will still be going on, and we'd have abnormal. Stats, I would be taking it. Did someone put something on? No. Okay. Okay, so I don't want an add-on. Okay, coming back. Stats, I'll be taking it. RM is going to be taken by Aisha. Again, I've given like a proper description about these guys. Aisha is a professor at Mumbai University since 2019. Personality is being taken by Sam and me. Sam is taking the more. He's also here. I was worried that Sam को entry नहीं मिलेगा अगर 500 हो गया. I was like, the instructor only doesn't have entry. So like now what do we do? I would have to kick someone out. But thankfully Sam got entry. See, yeah, he's here. Yes. You met Sam on the group only today. So Sam is taking the more psychoanalytic oriented, more humanistic side, and I am taking the existential, of course. I mean, come on. And the other trait theories on whatever the different types, trait type, cognitive, whatever is left. Biopsych is being taken by Snehal, very cool person. You'll meet her soon. Stats and RM. Abnormal is being taken by this person. Rutuja. Again, you met her as well on the group. Okay. Meanwhile, between that, we're going to have a few people coming up, right? We are going to have. Let me just clear this. Oops, spoiler again. We're going to have. Wow, okay. Getting used to this. Sorry. We're going to have Youth. Yeah, you might know him from LinkedIn. Youth is coming to talk about what his experience of cracking GRF this December. This December, Youth cracked GRF out of I think 36 people cleared. No, if I'm just tell me if I'm wrong about the figure, but I think 36 people cleared GRF, and if I'm not mistaken, little over 32. Yes, and the amount of people who appeared for psych was 16,000, 18,000. Again, fact check me on this. I'm not sure, but just I'm not trying to scare you. Relax. We'll clear together. We'll get a good mark. We'll do our best. You don't worry. Okay, you don't worry. You don't worry about the figures. But Youth is here, which is why Youth is here to talk about what he did. And clearly there is some part of luck, which is what Youth told me. Sometimes it's about luck, but we don't want to depend on that. And so he's coming here. Why are you panicking? Why are you panicking? We're here now. That is why we are here. There is no need to panic. You are here. It is sufficient. So you don't worry. We will crack it together. 18K pressure is like very nice. Are you guys listening or just like time pass kar rahe ho? Just memes bana rahe ho? Okay. Now listen quietly. Okay. You're just coming to talk about his strategy. Hey, relax, don't say sorry. Dr. Itisha, who you would know from she's actually a very cool person. She has a PhD. She has had GRF and SRF. Okay. Now, Why have I called Itisha? Itisha will be coming in the very first few days only. And the reason for that is because I want you guys to explore your motive. Why do you want to clear net? Is it for assistant professor? Is it for PhD? Or because it's a cool thing to do? What is it? If that motive is strong, you will be more likely to clear it. I told you, right? A certain type of person clears net and GRF. Okay, let's इतना सच नहीं बोलना है. Let's not be that honest. Okay, but okay, money is also actually a pretty good. There's nothing wrong with having money as a motivator, also. Okay, by the way, your home needs money to survive. For some people, you are the bread earner, and there is nothing wrong with saying money also. So it's perfectly reasonable as a motive. So she is coming here to explore the motives and how life is like as an assistant professor, as someone who's doing PhD and has GRF, etc., etc. Then we also have Arjun, who will be coming to talk about RM and stats. And how do you approach it? How do you approach a subject like this? And lastly, you have Raksha, who will be coming to talk about assessments and psychodiagnostics. Okay. Do you have any questions before we begin, like the remaining half hour of lecture that we have for my class? The next class is SAMS. Any questions? Ask now only. Yeah? Otherwise, later in the middle, don't ask. You can put in the chat only. You don't need to put it in the Q&A for now. Will the recording on the SciMode have captions? We'll have to see if we can put it. We'll try. I think for now, Google Meet has the captions option. So we'll see if we can put it on that also. Any other message about timings and all? Timings, I have told you, Monday to Saturday. It's 6 to 8 every day. And Sundays, I'm sorry, it's too cluttered, no? But Sundays, it's morning 10 to 12. Okay. Will we get resources? See, resources as in we are going to cover our topics. We're going to give, I'll tell you also the layout of how the lectures will be. Like every lecture has a unique vibe to it, but they have a structure that I have imposed, a pedagogical framework, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So for that, resources, we will have recommended books and stuff where you can go learn, read, watch, etc., etc. Beyond that, by the second week of this thing, we will have notes and stuff also on the SciMode platform and stuff right below the lectures, right? But say I have done a lecture on ANOVA, right below that will be notes on ANOVA. So that way it's all collated together and you don't have to like go to 100 different places. Okay, what other question? So these people, wait, biosec will be covered in week 1. Biosec will start by the end of week 1, I think around the end, and it will then continue till week 2. Were there any peeps you wanted to bring here? Not the time for this question. So these people will be coming for initial few days. Will it start from 6 p.m. or no? It'll always start at 6 p.m. I wanted to ask how to navigate. That is what we're going to do. We're going to navigate it. We're going to make sure that firstly your foundation is strong. The foundation for NET is strong, and then we're going to cover the syllabus very well. As some people are seeing it on YouTube, will recordings be available on YouTube as well? After this, we won't keep it available on YouTube, because right now we're just keeping it available live. Then we'll have to take it out because we want to put it up on the platform. Psychotherapy, counseling, etc. we'll be doing later. Recordings for this, the foundation series, is not paid. How are we going to see the progress and our standing compared to others? By the end of the first week, when we build some foundation, then we'll start comparing in a way of that progress of where you stand. For now, let's hold a baseline. Okay. Recordings are not going to be paid for this, at least the foundational series. Will you provide any PDFs? I don't mean we can recommend books and stuff, but we are not really going to. Yes, we will. So for the foundational series, we're not touching all topics for NET because, well, in 2 weeks, you can't really cover everything. Will there be practice? Yes, I'll tell you about it. Just give me a minute. How long the recordings be available? Forever. I don't. There's no time limit. No problem. Open source. It can't be open source because it's not a technological tool. It's a platform like an academy and stuff. No, but better. Again, damn it, it's on YouTube Live. Mess it up. But yeah. Will you be covering entire units in the foundational series? No. After that, when we are doing the second advanced series, in that, yes. Paper one also will be covering there. Right now, we just want to build a proper foundation, irrespective of the background you come from. This then levels the ground, because if you just enter all the units properly, you're going to feel lost. Okay, awesome. We have covered a good number of questions. Cool. Yeah. Okay, let me also tell you a little of how the sessions are structured. Okay, the every single session has this layout where you first, I'm still getting used to my pencil, have a baseline test before the lecture starts, a baseline. Then we will have your content, whatever your lecture is, and then end may post test in a way. So you can compare. Every single lecture is going to be following this format roughly. Now, how the professor is teaching, it's up to them because they have their own style. But every single lecture will be such. So would be ideal if you don't miss the first few minutes, because that's where there'll be like 5 MCQs here, taken from PYQs, taken from what we have generated, etc., and 5 here as well. So that way, in like 7 days, you're already covering so many per lecture. And then we are also going to be looking at the MCQs on the app. No, we are not conducting a NOVA. But we're not really. If you want to, sure. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a very good idea. I hadn't thought about that. But fine. Okay, awesome. Be cool. Let's start. I think we're like 20 minutes for mine before Sam has this. But okay. Fine. So we're going to start with the coolest subject ever, and the one that every psychology student loves a lot. You better like it. Okay? By the end of this, you better like it. I am here to oversee that you like it. Give me white. So, okay, let's get started with stats. All right. I don't want you to see statistics as having to do anything with numbers. I don't want you to see it as math. I don't want you to see it as anything to do with numbers, maths, equations, formulae, blah, 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 steps, 7 steps for ANOVA and all of that. Just do not see it as that. Because to me, statistics is not any of that. To me, statistics is the pencil. Oops. To me, statistics. Why does it keep saying that? Like, let me use my pencil in peace now. Why are you going to ruin it? See, camera, no. Okay. To me, statistics is very. Oh my god. There we go. It's very poetic. There we go. Okay, now it's okay. To me, it's very poetic, and you might be wondering, how is this language? How is this thing called as statistics that you have learned time and again, seen it in books like Kotari and stuff, and whatever books your professors recommend? How can something like this be poetic? How can that be possible? But I am here to tell you that statistics is nothing more than poetry, because it's a language, and it's not just a language. It's a way to uncover something, and it's not just uncovering. It's doing something very beautiful. It's doing something very romantic, and I don't mean romantic in the situationship way. I mean it easier to commit. Very rare, I know. Very rare to see, but statistics will be there for you. Even if So this is not the person, is not the kind of person who will say that, I'm looking for long term and be like, hey, probably something casual will be better. No, 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 no. He's here to commit. He doesn't lie on his in profile because he's very poetic. He's very romantic. He doesn't even have a Hinge profile. He believes in the traditional way of loving. I mean, it's up to him really. It's like nothing wrong with either, but he's that kind of boy, very soft boy, oddly specific. Oh, damn, dude. And don't, I'm not projecting anything on statistics. Relax. We listen, we do. Okay, okay, okay. Awesome. So that is your stats. He's a soft boy. He's a very soft boy. You know what a soft boy is? He's very poetic. He watches movies like Dead Poet Society. He's a soft boy. Why? Because he's doing something that no one else is doing. And I'll tell you why. Tell me something. Should we use statistics? Tell me why we should use statistics. And don't give me that, oh, because we can prove studies and all of that. There are nice studies showing efficacy. I mean, tell me why. Why does our field of psychology bother with statistics? To verify truths. That's a very interesting way. The first class I want to keep a little more open, little bit more philosophical, because once you have a deeper understanding of it, I think we'll benefit more with what it even is, and when we have to solve sums or whatever, it becomes easier. Evidence based to make sense of all theories. Nothing makes sense without it. You see how romantic that sounds? Nothing makes sense without him. Straightforward. See? Yes, personality. Like no nonsense. To me, to find a meaning, come on. This has to be like romantic, right? It's very DDLJ coded. To be objective. He's reliable, of course. You're identifying patterns. To understand our shared human. See? You're seeing it, right? Every unique person feel like they belong. This has to be intentional. Come on. The marketing is crazy. So, to understand what is normal and accepted, give us reasons to come on. This has to be this has to be like intentional, because I said poetic enough to validate. We bother because otherwise the subject will sound like common sense to me. To talk about people in a language. Okay. You said stats is poetic, then it's as if all beauty and aesthetics exists anyways, but it's stats as if you're putting it into words. Nice. To make psych significant. Is that like a pun? An intentional pun? Okay, awesome. Very good reasons. All right. Okay. Let me give you a thought experiment. Okay. Let's say I am going to give each one of you a box. Each one of you, okay? You get a free box from my end. Okay. And you get to look inside your box. You get a chance to look inside this box of yours. And what do you see? After looking inside, each one of you insists that it has something known as a raccoon. See, there it is. You think I was not going to bring it up? No. Each of you are insisting that inside this box is something called as a raccoon. Now, the problem is you can't look into my box. I can't look into your box. Is the raccoon radioactive? Maybe, I don't know. But the problem is that each one of us is insisting that this thing that is inside my box is a raccoon. So what is the problem here? No evidence. In the next 20-ish minutes, I'm going to give each one of you a very nice existential crisis. So I hope you're ready for that. We don't actually know what's inside. Exactly. How do I know my raccoon is your raccoon? There's no way to know. Right? That's the problem. So you can't look into anyone else's box. You can't look into anyone else's and know. So all you know is that inside my box is something I call raccoon. So everyone else who's calling it raccoon probably has something similar. But we can't know. So each box might contain something different from some or the others. So say 5 of them have raccoons, 5 of them have cats, and I'm just calling this cat a raccoon. Who knows? We don't really know. None of us have any idea. But when we ask you guys, each of you is telling us that inside this box, inside this box is a raccoon. When we ask you what's in your box, does anyone know what thought experiment this is or whose thought experiment this is? You get brownie points. No, it's not Schrodinger. That's just my soul with dark circles. Conformity, no, no. Popper, no. You're close. Popper is a close guess, but still, like Popper is not the right answer, but close to Popper. Guardians of the Galaxy, no man. I wish. Confirmation bias. No, no, people. The thought experiment is by Ludwig Wittgenstein. Wittgenstein was a philosopher, particularly analytical philosopher. Okay, and he gave this thought experiment. It's called Beetle in the Box, but I modified it to be Raccoon in the Box because why not? And Wittgenstein was basically saying that this is how it works for us for everything, right? You take something like a variable that we have here, like depression. When we are talking about it, how do I know that what I am calling depression is the exact same as what you are calling depression? Can I know? Can I know? Okay, even if we take it shallow, let's depression is still a collection of things. Can I know that when I say I'm feeling sad, it's the same as you feeling sad? It's the same thing as the raccoon in the box. When I say I'm feeling sad, I have to assume that whatever you are saying is feeling sad feels very similar to what I feel when I feel sad. My raccoon is your raccoon. But we can never know. Yeah, subjective experience could be different. Maybe it's completely different. Who knows? Mutually agree how? How would you mutually agree? Like, are you feeling sad? Are you feeling sad? Yes, yes, everyone's feeling sad. So we mutually agree this is sadness. How would you collectively define that? Take something like pain. We're able to collectively define that because someone is they look like they are in pain. But are they in pain? We don't know. This led to a very fun branch of philosophy known as philosophical zombies, where they believe that there are people who walk and talk like humans, but they aren't really conscious. So that's a wacky little theory. But that's the problem. So the question is, can we know anything? Can we know anything? That's the thing, no? How can similar traits in someone's experience become the base? Because how do I know my experience is the same as your experience? Even if we are both looking at the same mountain, I am looking at it a slightly different angle than you. Oh, the crisis. No, the crisis has not even begun. You give me 10 minutes. We're not even there yet. How can we know? Can we know anything? Let's take something very simple as this. Can we trust our senses? No. Because we know that, okay, what if we're just hallucinating all of reality? What if we are hallucinating? Why does this keep going behind or front? That makes no sense. See, doesn't make sense. When I wanted to go that side, it doesn't. What if you're just hallucinating reality? How do we know that your self even exists? So, how do we know something even exists? How do we know how can we know anything? See, for our purposes in the real world, this makes no difference. If you go and tell someone we might not be real, they'll probably think something is wrong with you. But if you are studying reality, if you are studying psychology, if you are studying this field, the question of what is knowledge and can we know something is very, very important. Because if you can't know anything, none of research matters. So, can we know anything? Can you trust what your body is telling you? Because What if you are hallucinating all of reality? How would you know you're not? How do you know you're not? Ah, someone is saying, I think, therefore I am. I was waiting for this because I wanted to deconstruct that really badly. I was waiting for someone to say this. People just, define this, right? I think, therefore I am. Why is this bothering me? What would you take? What do I have to do? Okay, I have to write here. Do I have to write like this? No. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure this out by like trial and error. At what point does it leave me alone? See, it does not leave me alone. Okay. Okay, I figured it out. I think, therefore, submoma. I think, therefore, I am. Some of you are saying Rene Descartes, blah, 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 whatever. Fine. Now, the problem with Descartes, like, let me tell you what Descartes did. Descartes was saying that I think that there is something, there is like, even if I doubt everything else, if I doubt my senses, that my senses are lying to me, I cannot deny the fact that there is something that's called me that is doing the thinking. But I'll tell you something. Are you the one who is making the thoughts come? Are you the one who is deciding what to think? So how can you say that it is I that's doing the thinking? If there's water in a bucket, are you saying that it is the bucket that is bringing the water about, or that the tap is? And what are you then, the tap or the bucket? Oh, yeah. That is where we begin. Would it be easier if you just accept that since I'm questioning my existence? Hey, that is Descartes' way of doing it. Damn, did you just independently discover Cartesian Cartesian skepticism? That's crazy. Like 300 years after his death, you discovered independently. Okay, that's very cool. Hmm. Yeah. So even the doubting, the thinking, is it really him that's doing it? We don't know. So that is the problem, and that is why I'm telling you why. That is the whole argument of why I'm going to tell you that uh, statistics is poetic. Let me get to it. Okay. So with this, what I have just done is deconstructed knowledge. So can we know anything? Can we know anything? Can knowledge of anything exist? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, we don't know. Okay. I'll tell you what the philosophers do. They try to define knowledge first. Okay. They try to do something called as a definition. They say it's knowledge. I'll just write K over here, is equals to justified through belief. JTB formula they call it. So if I can justify it, if it is true, and if I believe it, then knowledge. Then you have knowledge. And this is kind of formula that you learn in RM as well. That we're trying to put, what do you call it? The um, research designs, the experimental design, sampling, and stuff to justify. If the research is flawed, this part of knowledge is flawed. Okay, I'll come to belief as well. Most of you believe what you are. Uh, yeah, we're starting with philosophy of science, epistemology. Most of you believe what you are trying to study. I mean, for your dissertation, you just pick random topics because you need to get marks and get done with it. But people who like to do research, they are doing it for a reason. But the problem is here. Again, I can't know this thing called true. I can't know it's true. So even though they came up with a very fancy definition, it still does not work. It still fails because this thing called as truth. How do I know something is true? Doesn't work. So it just pushed the problem back. Instead of knowledge, now we're trying to define truth. What is truth? I don't know. No one knows. So it just pushed the problem. So here is why I went through all the trouble of going through philosophy of science at the start of stats. at the start of this thing. Because what can we even say then? I can only talk about, oh wait, not white. Okay, it's not getting, okay. I can only talk about what's in my box, right? What else can we say? What can I say about anyone else's box? What can I say about anyone else's raccoon? I can only say something about my raccoon. So what can we even say? What can we even tell? What can I claim? What can I do? We realize that we can say nothing. There's nothing that we can say. That's not mentioned about. No. Fine. Whatever. We realize we can say nothing. Oops. Nothing can be said. And that's where statistics comes in. That is the point here. It gives you the ability to say something. It gives you the ability to say something. And what is it saying? What is statistics saying? All of statistics, very simply, is not even saying about likelihood, nothing. It is saying what? Stats is not the truth. It's just a hammer. But it's a beautiful hammer. It's a hammer that's getting you closer to where you want. So what is stats doing? It is giving you the language to talk beyond your box. It is giving you the language to talk outside of your box. Why? Why is it allowing it? Because we have agreed collectively. And this is the basis of every single field in the world, not just psychology, not just math, stats, everything. It's because we have agreed. So it's not just epistemology or philosophy of science, it's social epistemology. And you might think, what does this have to do with me clearing net and all of that? On the net clear. It will be clear to you. As we learn stats properly, it will be made more clear. So it's socially accepted. And you're like, how is stats socially accepted? Think about it. Your p values, they fell from the sky or what? Your confidence intervals, all of the formulas they come, yes, fell from the sky or what? God gave it to us. No, they're all socially agreed. We agree that, okay, if it's 0.05, then we have something known as significance. That if we have collected so much data, then it's good. There is something known as a normality thing. We have agreed upon it. Continental philosophers don't like stats. That's a whole other thing that we'd rather not touch. So, to statistics, knowledge is not something to find. To it, knowledge is social. It's relational. Oh, damn. Oops. It's relational. I have to figure out a way to deal with this problem. It's relational. It has a way of not just talking about numbers. Numbers is just the way we are communicating that there's relations or there's a sociality to it. And that's why it's so poetic. Look at our example, right? Right now, you'll see how this works, how this starts to fall in place for you, right? These are all the different types of raccoons that might have been inside your box. So they contribute to this common idea of a raccoon. A common idea of a raccoon. And what we end up doing is, I'm going to compare everyone's idea of a raccoon to my raccoon, what's inside my box. Everyone's idea of a raccoon to comparing it to my box. So whatever they've told me theirs is brown. They've told me theirs has hair, etc. I'm comparing it to mine. And this, okay, this is the most foundational idea in stats. It's the most important idea in statistics. There is no idea in statistics more important than it. You know why? Because we see it everywhere. Say the idea of dating, for example. What everyone else thinks of, what everyone else thinks of dating, I'm going to compare it with my views on dating. What everyone else thinks of dating, I'm going to compare that with my views of dating. Not able to hear me. This is for everyone. No, I can hear it playing. Yeah, audible. Yeah. We're comparing everyone else's idea to my idea. Not correlation, not. This is the main protagonist of statistics. I told you, right, in the start, I told you, he's someone very, very important. His name is Deviance Bhai. Okay, you have to pay respects to him. But this is the most important person in all of statistics. Not significance, nothing. Not significance, not confidence intervals. It's this. It's deviance. And the problem is that you are not even taught this properly as like, what is deviance? Why is it so important? You are just given your formulas. But deviance why is the most important. Because what is he doing? He's taking everyone's idea of something, right? Like over here, we took, for example, everyone's idea of dating. Here we took everyone's description of raccoon. You know what that everyone's description is? The mean. And this is what I'm observing, which is my raccoon. And I'm comparing it. This is deviance. And this small little formula that you see, right? My raccoon and everyone else's raccoon is the most fundamental thing in all of psychology, in all of stats. Why? Because you want to see it. Why do I keep doing this? Why does this keep happening? Yeah. You're going to see it in all of stats. Time and again, you're going to see this guy come in different places. T-test, ANOVA, regression, correlation, standard deviation, variance, everywhere. Here you can see him. Can you spot deviance by? I put my this off. Look at it. Can you spot him? Right here. Here he is. Here again he is. Here he is. Even within the formula of the independent t-test is there. Everywhere he's there. In ANOVA, when you solve it, you will see him multiple times. Levine's test, homoscedasticity, even in p-value, I think. I have to check the p-value formula, but he shows up every single time wherever you go. Even in this, surprisingly, factor analysis. We'll cover factor analysis as well. You're going to understand properly. So this is what we are trying to do here in the foundational for stats. Okay. The reason why I started with philosophy was because of this. We are trying to do this. We're trying to understand the relational nature of knowledge. Okay. You don't worry about the formula for now. Right now, you just need to know what it's doing. We'll go over the formula in detail properly, how it's appearing again and again. You don't worry about that. Now, what you need to focus is on this, that knowledge is relational, and the way we relate it is by comparing the external world with, say, some conception of it. And when we do this again and again and again, we end up with this formula. We end up with this formula, x minus x bar. Why is this not working? X bar. This is it. There's nothing more to it. That's it. And this one thing appears multiple times. So when your NET exam asks for you to solve standard deviation, when it asks you to solve variance, when it asks you to solve t-test ANOVA, you don't ask to solve t-test ANOVA, but even if it asks for the formula or something, whatever, you know what you're going into. Because all you have to do is recognize this guy first. You have to recognize deviance by. And once you do that, you'll see him here. So over the next few days, when we cover stats, what we want to do is spot this guy. We are, you know what a paparazzi is? Does anyone know what a paparazzi is? What's a paparazzi? Come on, tell me. Press, okay. There's specific most high. There's celeb stalker. That's a very simple way of putting it. So Deviant Bhai is our celeb. Okay, he's a very shy celeb who doesn't like coming out. So we are hunting him. We are going to keep hunting him across all of stats. because he's very important. He's very, very important, but he's also very shy. Uh, find a way to deal with this. So, Bollywood ka deviance by. So that is what we are going to do. I know that you might think that you're not good at stats, you're not good at math, whatever, but it does not matter. I have told this to people before. I have told this to my students. If you can do addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, you can do statistics. I don't remember the formulas. That's all. You don't have to worry about it. Like you start identifying different characters. Like right now, you're just looking at variance ka formula, looking at this uh, correlation ka formula, and you've already identified variance by appear 2 times. Deviance by appear 2 times. Sorry, 2 times is there. So similarly, you start recognizing these characters, because each of these characters have a personality. There's a reason why they're here, and I want to make sure that you know these characters very well over the next few days. Over the next few days, I want you to treat them like friends, because then when you're learning stats as for the exam, when to solve MCQs, you're not just looking at something as something to just solve quickly. These are your friends. These are characters you have spent time with, who are just going to scream out to you, dude, you know me. I'm your friend, you know me. I'm deviance by, or I am Bessel's correction, or whatever. So that is what we are doing, which is why we went through this whole thing of philosophy of science, to recognize that they are all social creatures, because they are doing something very relational. It's very poetic. It's very beautiful. You can see how deviance by just is hiding because we are scared to meet him, but he's everywhere. He's everywhere. So we have to now catch him, get a good picture of him, and that is the goal. Okay, so over the next few lectures that we are going to take, we're going to look at t-tests, we're going to look at correlation, regression, we're going to look at ANOVA, we're going to look at factor analysis. When we look at this, we're not going to look at it just conceptually, that this is what correlation is, this is what regression is. We're going to understand where is it coming from, and who are these people who are in this formula, and why are they here? Why is he here? Why is she here? Why are they here? That is our job in it. Okay, and when right now, since it's the first class, I've not added MCQs and stuff, but next we're going to keep MCQs and stuff in the start and in the end that are more relevant for now. Okay, awesome. Any questions, any doubts, anything you'd like me to clarify? Do you see why I'm saying that stats is poetic? Because it's giving you a way to talk about something. Without it, what can I say? If you think about it, okay, I want you to think about this very clearly. Everything you say is an average. Every single thing we say is an average. He is a good person. On average, he is a good person. She is just like that only. On average, she's only like that only. Every single thing we say is an approximation. Because you cannot speak without statistics. We think that statistics is this thing that the books are filled with, but it's just what you do, it's just what you are. You cannot speak without it, you cannot think without it. And what you have done all your life, you are here to put it in these formulas that these people have left for us, because they just hated us and themselves, and now they just made us making like, okay, fine, cool, but we understand the intuition, because this is what we've done. We are here with the poetry. But we're not stats people, we are literature people, and we'll get it. All right. Okay. So I will conclude over here with stats, because I don't want you to see it as something that's scary, something that's bad. I'm not a math person. You don't need to be a math person. All you need to be is a romantic who falls in love with deviance by and other characters we meet. Awesome. Great. Okay. I've already eaten a lot into Sam's lecture. I will let him take it up now. Okay. Okay. Sam, you can take over. I will stop presenting. Oh yeah, sorry. 1 second. He can't unmute. Wait, I think I can give special permission. Can I? Do I have to make him a host? add as a co-host. Now you should be able to.
Yes, now I am able to. Hello, can you guys see me? Can you hear me?
दिख तो नहीं रही, हाँ दिख रहा है, दिख रहा है.
Yes. Hello, hello. I think we'll take 1 minute to recover from what Shannon has done to us.
Damn rude
Thank you
word.
for that.
Don't say it like that.
No, no, it was nice. Started off with a little crisis, but I think the end was relieving. Okay, you're audible, visible. Some people can't see me. I think it will load in a while. Hello, hello. I can see some familiar names, not faces. Can some of you turn your videos on so I can see you? Hello. I can see Ray of Hope Counseling. I can see Pavni, Apurva. How are you guys doing? Where are you guys joining from? कहाँ हैं सब लोग? Just write in your city. इंदौर, जोधपुर, हैदराबाद, बॉम्बे, पुणे, फरीदाबाद, बैंगलोर, कोलकाता, वडोदरा, बॉम्बे, बॉम्बे. My God, so many people. लखनऊ, एंगलोर. एंगलोर क्या है? एंगलोर जाऊंगा मैं नेक्स्ट में. ग्रेटर नोएडा. डिवियंस भाई कैसे लगे सबको? गुड. और शैनन भाई? शैनन भाई के आगे कोई कुछ नहीं बोल सकता है. और जस्ट ओके. मस्त लगे. अरे वाह. ग्रेट ग्रेट. Okay, are you guys ready? Should we start? Should we wait? Take 1 minute. Both are fine. I am from Nagpur. I am currently also in Nagpur. It's around 45 degrees here every day. So that's fun. बहुत गर्मी यार. कोई ठंडी के मौसम में है क्या अभी? वो निकल जाओ फिर मीटिंग से. I don't want to talk. No, no, I'm kidding. Guwahati, I think would be colder. Nagpur best. Wow, that's the first. Raining in Bangalore. Wow, raining in Kolkata also. 50 जाएगा. तूफान हो रहा है यहाँ. Thund is a state of mind. I think Alicia has listened to Shannon's lecture very closely. State of mind, Thund has become now. मौसम रंग बदल रहा है. वाह, शायरी कर लिया. Very windy in Varanasi. Raining in Mangalore as well. Okay. Crazy heat in Pune. Crazy heat है. ठीक है. Mm-mm-mm. I'm from Doon. Oh, Doon is cold, I think. पूरा कोला vibe. Nice. Okay. So I am here today to take your lecture on personality. Today's lecture will be on understanding the concept of personality, right? So we will talk about, as Shannon said, knowledge is relational, right? It's co-constructed. So we will talk about what personality is for you, what personality is for me, what personality was for some famous people in our field, for example, Freud. But tomorrow, I think the next time I teach, I'll take other lectures, right? I'll take other theorists. सबकी बातें सुनकर मेरे यहाँ के वेदर में 5 डिग्री का डिवियंस है. ओ मैन, स्टैटिस्टिक्स हैज गॉन इन, आई थिंक. कोई नहीं, हम पर्सनालिटी पे आते हैं. ओके, रेडी? शुड वी स्टार्ट? ओके, लेट मी शेयर माय स्क्रीन so we can start. Yes. Why is this not visible? Can you see my screen? Or is it just gray for you? Oh, you can see it. Okay, it's loaded now. Okay, great. Chalo. I won't overextend the time. I know you guys have been here for a long time. Um, so let's start. Yes, personality. I have prepared some questions for you that we're going to be starting with. Don't worry, they're not that difficult. Personality के ही सवाल है, and let's begin. Before we begin, there are some guidelines, basic guidelines that I would like to tell you. Um, just about what this lecture is and what this lecture is not. Okay, so this lecture is not a fancy word competition. We are not here to um talk in complex terms that neither I understand or we understand, right? This lecture is not a theoretical class, so it's not going to be like कि अच्छा ये theory इसने दी थी, ये 1850 में पैदा हुआ था, फिर ये यहाँ शिफ्ट हुआ वुंड वुंड से पहली लाइब्रेरी उसने लाइप्जिग में सेटअप की और फिर उसके बाद he did this, right? So it's not a history lesson as well. What this is it's a participatory space. This could be a thought experiment for you. This is a conceptual module that I have built today, and it might force you to reflect, right? And what this lecture is not also is a lecture. So I would like you guys to come in to tell me your opinions, and that's how this will go. Okay, chalo. Let's start. पहला सवाल 7 करोड़ के लिए आपकी स्क्रीन पर. वेरी इजी, डोंट वरी. सोचो आराम से. Which personality cluster does dependent personality disorder fall in? Okay. I'll give you 10 seconds and then I'll ask you to write it in the chat. तब तक मत लिखना. ठीक है. Done. Is everyone done? Okay. बताओ. You can write in your answers. अच्छा पहले ही आ गए, अभी लोड हुआ है मेरे लिए. क्लस्टर सबने लिख दिया, अभी लिखा. अरे कोई नहीं. आई डेंट, मुझे मेरे लिए अभी लोड हुआ है. ओके, क्लस्टर सी. यस, क्लस्टर ए में कौन से डिसऑर्डर्स आते हैं? विच डिसऑर्डर्स कम अंडर क्लस्टर ए? Schizoid, schizotypal, and there's one more. BPD. Okay. Cluster B में कौन से आते हैं? Histrionic, narcissistic, and there's two more. Great. Okay. Next question पे जाते हैं हम. ये रहा आपके स्क्रीन पे. फोन अ फ्रेंड आई थिंक कर सकते हो, बट इसमें लगेगा नहीं. दिस इज मोर. अरे पहले ही. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to stop people from writing it in. Okay. Psychosocial theory of development किसने बनाई थी? E B. Okay. Everyone is right. It is Eric Erikson. Neo-Freudian था Eric Erikson. Psychosexual theory of development से psychosocial theory of development we move to, right? Okay. Let's see. What do you think this could be? Answers have answers are coming in lesser number now. D, okay. C, okay. Hmm. D, okay. think यहाँ पे 50-50 करना चाहेंगे आप? दो ऑप्शन हटाता हूँ मैं. An ancastic personality has which of the following traits? Okay, an ancastic personality is a old name for OCPD. OCPD is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Yeah? That is why the option orderly and perfectionism A is correct. Okay. And I think the second last question, ये तो बहुत easy है. I think we'll just spend 1 minute. I think everyone's bachelor's consisted of this one name, which was so long that everyone remembered it. Bronfriend, Brenner, Bonfriend, कुछ तो बोला है किसी ने, and now everyone remembers it. Okay. And the last question. बताओ. Oh, differing answers आ रहे हैं इसमें बहुत सारे. बताओ बताओ. Oh, wow. Okay. Tripartite model given by Freud is also known as tripartite model जो है उसको आइसबर्ग मॉडल बोलते थे, फंक्शनल मॉडल बोलते थे, स्ट्रक्चरल और टोपोग्राफिकल, राइट. Tri iceberg model, first of all, Freud never called it the iceberg model, right? So that's a myth. Iceberg word Freud ने कभी use नहीं किया था. He never used the word iceberg. Topographical model जो है, topographical model is the conscious, pre-conscious and unconscious, right? Structural model is the id, ego and superego, which is also known as the tripartite model. Okay. And functional model कुछ है नहीं, वो मैंने ऐसे ही डाला हुआ है. So the answer is structural model, right? Okay. So this was the baseline test. I hope you guys enjoyed this. अब हम करते हैं चालू. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? So I'll tell you a short story that happened with me last some weekends ago, right? I was attending a conference where Dr. Salman Akhtar was speaking, right? And this is what he has to say, right? So we start with the question. The question is, do all mothers love their children? And you have to answer. Batao. Excellent, excellent. Yes, we have yeses also. Great to see. Some hope. Statistically speaking, not at all. Okay. Some are unable to. That's a great answer, Sarah. Neutral. Okay. Not every day or every time. Yes. Okay. So of course, as we know, all mothers do not love their children, but some mothers end up hating their children. Some mothers end up killing their children. Some mothers end up burning their children. Some mothers end up selling their children, right? So there was a case that Dr. Akhtar was recounting that he was sitting in his room, right, his therapy room, and a client is sitting across him, and the client is smoking, right? The client is smoking a cigarette, and they're talking कि मुझे नहीं पता क्या बात कर रहे थे, but they're talking, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the client is maintaining eye contact with Dr. Akhtar, and he's smoking, and he takes this cigarette and he puts it on his cheek. He stubs it out, he puts it out in his cheek. जलती हुई burning cigarette को he puts it on his cheek, right? Now, what relevance does this have to personality? Can anyone tell me how this personality could have developed, that this person is doing this without batting an eye? Okay, there is no change in his reactions. How can we understand this personality? Interestingly, Dr. Akhtar's brother is जावेद अख्तर साहब, if you know, and उनकी एक किताब है तरकश, जिसमें छोटी सी ये कविता है कि जो हम पे गुजरी हमें याद सब, which basically means कि whatever has happened to you, you remember everything. Okay. Now, what has happened to this client? Need for attention. I see so many answers coming in. Family member, numbing of pain, self-harm, numbness, trauma, इतने सारे वर्ड्स हम इंस्टेंटली डाल देते हैं ना कि हाँ ये है. ओके. Getting hurt, habit, impulse, normal. The man is suffering from memories. Okay. Let's see what happened. This is basically how a schizoid personality is formed in childhood. Okay. This is basically how schizoid personality is formed in childhood. Schizoid, or you can, some part of antisocial personality also, is formed in childhood, right? So there's two things that a caregiver can do, right? A caregiver being a mother, for example. They can either neglect a child, of course, they can love the child also. But here in pathology, you can either neglect the child or you can also hate the child. There is importance to remember that neglect is different from hate. You cannot hate someone if you are neglecting them. You have to pay attention to them, right? This is hate. This is not neglect. So when such a child, when an infant undergoes hate from their primary caregiver, then in adulthood they can tolerate anything, right? Then in adulthood they do not, उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है ये सब चीजों से, right? But there is an underlying hidden message in this behavior, which is remember me, look at me, or hold me. Why are they putting this cigarette out in this manner on their cheek in such a painful manner? It's because they died a young death in their infancy. And now, through these acts, they want to live forever in your mind. This is their way to stay alive. ठीक है. मैं यहाँ पे आके आपको स्किज़ॉइड पर्सनालिटी का डेफिनेशन दे सकता हूँ. आई कैन टेल यू द सिम्टम्स, right, that you find in schizoid PD. But you really have to understand formation. You really have to understand what personality is, right? Okay. Is everyone here? Are you guys with me? Crisis, इसमें क्या crisis है? Okay. Should we move forward? Oh, this is another quote that I found. I'll translate for uh, everyone to understand. The quote is, ये जो तुमने खुद को बदला है, बदला है, बदला है. The first badla is change, and the next two badlas is revenge. So the way you have changed yourself is a revenge, is a revenge. Okay. What is the revenge on? Why is the revenge happening? Yes, I translated. I'll translate again. The way you have changed, can't see the slides. Can you guys see the slide? The way you have changed yourself is a revenge. Okay. Now you have to understand the client's revenge. You have to understand the aggressor. You have to understand why did they feel the need to revenge, avenge, whatever. Okay. Follow. Okay. Now coming to personality. What is personality? Again, a question posed to you guys. Here we see a woman pull out. The Amanda Oleander ka artwork hai. This is an image where a woman is pulling out the alphabet from her ears. Okay. बताओ, what is personality? Gordon Allport की definition please मत लिखना. Psycho, physical adjustment to वो मत. Okay, what do you think personality is? Anything. I'll give you 1 minute to think also. Okay. आराम से सोचो, आराम से लिखो. Dipanchi says, whatever makes me me. Okay, unique. Hmm. This uniqueness thing is very interesting, right? Because so many people think it is unique, of course, to you, but so many things are similar also. Otherwise, how would we categorize disorders? Answer to my con. Okay, performance. Okay, you can see some life is a stage answers. People's construction of themselves, enduring aspects, behave, think, act, how we appear. Psychic skin is a great answer. But okay, learn pattern of behavior, unique way of dealing with situations, something which makes us unique. Okay, nature, nurture, amalgamation of experiences, traits, what I do and what I see and how I see it. तो हो रहा है और पता नहीं. Great. अब let's go into let's go into what personality is. All of you have answered in something. All of you have answered in the English language, right? Some in Hindi also, correct? So all the answers that we can read here are being pulled out of this woman's ear, correct or not? ये जो अल्फाबेट निकाल रही है बाहर, ये अल्फाबेट के सम organization of alphabet say you formed words and then sentences and then you've put it in the chat, correct? Now of course if knowledge is collectively agreed upon, if you think personality is this and I think personality is this and we agree on the words that we have said together, then this is what personality is. What is the problem here? The problem here is all of us come from different schools of thought, right? तो यहाँ पे किसी ने behaviorism का आंसर दिया है that the behavior, enduring behavior and traits that we have, that is our personality. किसी ने traits का आंसर दिया है, right? Somebody has given types of answer. That's what I do every day. I'm this type of a person. Somebody has given a collect social answer भी दिया किसी ने that how other people treat me, how I am with other people, that is who I am. Learning का answer we can see here, right? Now, which of them is correct? Which of them is wrong? Which should you believe? Which should you know? Which should you understand? All of this is based again on what you feel is correct. अगर आपको अंदर से लग रहा है कि behaviorism का answer is not right, then you will not resonate with it. But we cannot dismiss it without understanding it. So before going into specific theorists, let's understand how we conceptualize personality. Okay, let's see. Okay. This is the first way that people understand personality. Causality versus teleology. Causality was uh, causality का एक proponent है Sigmund Freud, right? Causality and teleology में what is the difference? I'll just shortly explain. Teleology basically refers to what is the use of X. So teleology has to do with what is the consequence of X, right? And causality has to do with where has X come from? How has X developed? What, why is X, right? That is what causality is. When you're finding the reason for something. ठीक है, आपने समझ लो आज रात को डिनर में यू ऑर्डर्ड अ पिज्जा, राइट? नाउ द कॉज़ैलिटी वुड बी why would you order pizza? बताओ मुझे some reasons that you would order a pizza. Simple reasons. पिज्जा तो ऑर्डर करते ही होंगे रात को, बताओ बताओ. अब भी लोड हो रहा है, आई थिंक. यस, हंगर, क्रेविंग, टेस्टी. ओके, हंगर. right? Fast delivery, great, because it's hot here and I didn't wish to cook. Okay. Teleology is use or consequence. Yes, correct. So personality, if we study from a causal point of view, so Freud studies it from a causal point of view. Freud will study pizza from a causal point of view. कि पिज्जा में जो टमेटोज यूज किए हैं वो टमेटोज की जो मदर एंड फादर है हाउ डिड दे ट्रीट दैट बेबी टमेटो that it ended up on a pizza. Okay, that would be studied by Freud. Causality would be studied by Freud. Rogers would not study causality. Rogers would study teleology. That pizza जो है, that is making me feel like who I am. I am eating it because I feel myself when I eat it. I eat it because I discover my actualized self when I eat pizza. Right? ऐसा हुआ है कि किसी के साथ pizza so good that you feel you like you've actualized. हुआ होगा तो बताओ. हुआ है? कहाँ से खाया भाई, जल्दी बताओ. रॉजर्स को हम हटा देंगे, फिर हम पिज्जा पिज्जा साइकोलॉजी में आ जाएंगे. डिपेंड्स ऑन हु यू आर ईटिंग विद. इंटरेस्टिंग. डोमिनोज इज गुड मैन. डोमिनोज मत बोलना क्या है. पिज्जा पे देखो कितने आंसर्स आ गए जैसे ही पिज्जा बोला. ओके, ठीक है. So this is causality versus teleology. So when we are understanding personality theories, I don't want you to think about okay, Eric Erikson है 8 stages है, basic trust, mistrust, autonomy, shame, doubt, and then uska you will think about will and whatever, and then you'll memorize them, and then you'll go to give the exam, and so you'll be confused, and then you won't know what to take. This is not how I want you to study or understand personality. I want you to understand what Erikson wanted you to, मतलब फील अबाउट पर्सनालिटी. ये कॉजालिटी के बारे में बात कर रहा है, ये टीडियोलॉजी के बारे में बात कर रहा है. व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ ट्रस्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड? व्हाई इज बेसिक ट्रस्ट एन इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर्मेशन? अगर आपको, इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, देन एनी क्वेश्चन ऑन एरिक एरिक्सन यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व बिकॉज यू अंडरस्टूड द कॉन्सेप्ट नाउ, राइट? ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. कैटलॉग ऑफ ह्यूमन मोटिव्स. यस, कैटलॉग ऑफ ह्यूमन मोटिव्स सबको दिखा है. Personality and motivation are very interrelated. Theories are also interrelated. Basically, we talk about what makes an individual go, what are the drives individual has, what are the motivations individuals have. Right. So this is just a small chart that I've divided on what different theorists say motives are. Right. For example, if we see. mm, 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 Rogers talks about healthy potentials as a core motivation. Freud talks about sexuality. Yes. Maslow talks about self-actualization. Rogers also talks about actualization. Carl Jung talks about individuation. Right? All of these are fulfilling potentials. And अब इसमें आप, this is not something. Don't feel like you're not getting this. You're getting this. This is all there is to get here. That these people have made so many. They've made a catalog that you're browsing through. जैसे जोमेटो पे भी आप यू ब्राउज की, ये ऑर्डर करूँ, ये ऑर्डर करूँ, ये ऑर्डर करूँ, एंड देन इट्स टू लेट, देन यू जस्ट मेक मैगी, like it's fine. So they've made a full catalog, okay, of human motives. Can you explain teleology again? Yes, they've made a full catalog, and I don't want you to browse through them. I want you to understand what they have to say. Okay, teleology is basically, teleology means use or consequence of something, right? Causality will talk about the causality will talk about where this has come from, how it has developed, right? Teleology will talk about what is the use of this personality. Let's take an example to understand this better. आपके दिमाग में जब मैं हिस्ट्रियोनिक पर्सनालिटी बोलता हूँ, कौन से शख्स, who comes in front of your eyes? Rakhi Sawant, someone has said. This is the most famous example that people always give, right? The problem is we lose empathy for Rakhi Sawant when we talk about the histrionic. We are not diagnosing anyone. Kelly Kapoor from Office, I have not seen. Okay. What I mean to say is, if we understand how has this histrionic personality developed, what experiences did this person have in their childhood, then we are talking about causality. If we are talking about what purposes is this personality serving this person, is this histrionic nature reducing anxiety in this person? Is it is it driving away depressive tendencies? What is it doing? Then we are talking about teleology. Okay, I hope that's clear now. Chalo. Okay, let's come to dogs on a lighter note. Structure of personality की बात करते हैं, right? Let's see what the structure of personality is. A lot of people, when describing the structure of personality, have said that personality is a house which is divided against itself, right? Which is divided against itself. Could you clear how Adler was teleological? Teleological. Sure, sure. We won't go in depth. Alfred Adler talked about something which is known as complexes. He talked about complexes. Right? So he talked about the inferiority complex. He talked about the superiority complex. Now, if you are talking about the inferiority complex, why? What is the purpose that? What is the consequence that the inferiority complex is serving you or others? Are you has your psyche adapted an inferiority complex because you're afraid to raise your voice in your house against your father, for example? Just an example. Okay. But how is it functioning? So that's teleology. Ego defense is studied from a teleological perspective. Um, no, they're studied from both. Causality also we will talk about. Don't worry. Okay. चलो. Let's come back to structure. Structure मतलब structuralism का founder कौन है? Who's the founder of structuralism? Everyone loves to answer this question. Who is the founder? Wundt. And after Wundt, who came after Wundt? Okay. What is the first name of Tishner? Tishner coined the term. That's right. Edward. And what's the middle name of Tishner? B. Excellent. B लिखा है लोग. Bradford. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Just checking if you guys are still here. This information is not going to help you in your practice, in clearing any exam, in life. Okay. ये we have studied already, right? And we know this. I don't know why. जैसे गाने के lyrics सबको याद है ना, वैसे ये सबको याद है कि won't आया, फिर this happened, then that happened. But when you talk about the structure of personality, how did it come about in psychology? We have not been taught, right? So structure of personality was described as a house that is divided against itself by a lot of people. Okay. Now, what is structure? What does the word structure mean? The word structure means, imagine a lake. Okay. On a lake, there is a lake house that you can see. But water पे तो नहीं तैर रहा है lake house. Is the lake house floating? No. It has something which is known as stilts in the ground. Okay. So there is a frame to the house. There is something which is upholding the house in the ground. There is something which is providing structure. Mitochondria is the powerhouse, okay, to the house. Right? Now, what are these stilts for personality? Is that what I want to ask you? बताओ. Bradford सबको पता है. What are the stilts? What is the structure of personality that it's standing on? Okay. Traits, beliefs, genetics, beliefs, experiences, genes, environment. See, as soon as we, as soon as a question comes about, we instantly go back to our previous information and schools of thought. So instantly we talk about traits, we talk about childhood, we talk about environment, we talk about behaviors. But what is the actual structure of personality? How will we understand it? Let's see. Dogs versus super egos की बात करते हैं. Who would win? Who do you think would win? Dogs or super egos? If you had to say, if it was a fight, would dogs win or super egos? Dogs, 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 super egos. Okay. Dogs, dogs, super egos, dogs. Okay, great. Have you guys seen a dog ever? Have you ever seen a dog? I've seen a dog. German Shepherd would bite rats. You've seen dogs, right? Have you ever have you ever patted a dog on its side? Have you ever pet a dog? Define dogs. ये जो फोटो में है Adnaz, those only. Okay, you have. Great. Have you ever seen a super ego? Have you ever pet a super ego? No. So then how is super ego one of the structures of personality? How do you know super ego exists? Right? Abstract concept है, correct. So we've never seen a super ego, correct? अच्छा मुझे बताओ दिस इमेज ये जो दिख रहा है ना एक उबर एक एस दिस इज बेसिकली ईगो उबर एक सुपर ईगो एस इज इड राइट this is drawn by Freud drew this I think iceberg he never drew but this division that is there id ego super ego ka, or even of the uh, conscious pre-conscious unconscious which we will come to but do you think this division is in our mind these lines ऐसे draw की है क्या हाथ से फ्रॉइड ने in our brains does this actually exist in our mind the traits that Allport has talked about, extraversion, does it exist in your mind actually? Can you remove it and show it to me? Okay, see, this is extraversion. Of course, we've experienced influence of superego. It exists. It's symbolic, correct? Mind is not a physical entity, correct? Excellent. What I mean to say is, when understanding the nature of existence of concepts, do not think they exist in boxes. Okay, this is not superego. This is not ego. This is not id. Okay, they are not different from one another. They don't exist in your mind, right? They are just one thing that is operating. Okay, if you read Freudian analysis, you will find that ego actually emerges from that, right? It's described as a circular covering. Okay, now actual circular covering है क्या? नहीं है ना. पिज्जा आप खा रहे हो, डॉग को आप पेट कर रहे हो. We tend to think about concepts like this. कि, oh no, that person they're introverted. That person is extroverted. That person has borderline personality disorder. That person has narcissistic PD. What do you mean by this? Right? They are not physical concepts. They don't think of them as separate from one another. All of it is inside your mind. All of them exist. Okay. These are known as the pitfalls of imagination. Right? Correct. The bifurcations are there to make it more digestible. But इससे patient को indigestion हो जाएगा. हम अगर boxes में if we start putting people in, right? So these are the pitfalls of imagination. I don't want you to think about personality as, oh yeah, that's a type A personality, that's type B, right? Oh, there will come to development. Chalo. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, another question for you guys. Along the same lines, we'll end in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. X is a 2-year-old female child. Delineate all the stages X is currently in, stages of development. Give you an example. जैसे फ्रॉइड के psychosexual stages है, right? तो which stage is X in? वो आपको लिखना है चैट में. Great, pre-op, anal, amazing, pre-operational, anal stage. What else? और किसकी थियरी है? एरिक्सन. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. Trust versus mistrust is earlier. 2 year पे autonomy versus प्री कन्वेंशनल एक्सीडेंट. मोरालिटी की बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, कोलबर्ग की. एक्सीलेंट. Let's name X. Right? I don't like the word X. Any names for this female child? महक बोला है किसी ने, ठीक है महक रखता है. मुझे बताओ, does महक know it's in the pre-operational stage of morality? Does महक know it's in the anal stage when toilet training is happening to महक? Does X know that they're in the trust mistrust, or they're not in the autonomy versus shame and doubt stage? Do they know or do they not know? They don't know. Correct. But when we read cases, that's what we put them into, right? That, oh, okay, so toilet training was difficult, all right. Then anal stage 2-year-old, there would be some problem, right? This is the entire person that you're seeing. Okay. This person you have to observe in their entirety. You don't have to cut them up into stages. कि oh हाँ pre-operational stage of morality, that's why they're acting like this. Anal stage is there, that's why anal retentive personality is we can see right now. Okay. Autonomy versus shame, बहुत shame किया था. Shame बोलते थे बचपन में, इसलिए this has happened right now. Okay. All of this is to understand Mehak, right? महक इज बिगर देन दीज थियरीज. वहां से हमने थियरीज लाए, थियरी से महक बनी नहीं है. ओके. ऑल ऑफ दीज स्टेजेस आर इंटरमिक्स्ड, इंटरमिंगलिंग. ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 साल पे बर्थडे का केक जब काट रही है मैं तो एनल स्टेज से फिर फैलिक स्टेज में चली जाएगी. दैट्स नॉट हाउ इट इज. ओके. महक इज जस्ट वाइब्स. ओके. लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. आई थिंक दिस इज द लास्ट स्लाइड फॉर टुडे. वैसे भी 8 बज रहे हैं. ओके. Let's talk about the unconscious for 5 minutes. Share some MCQs and we will end. Okay. I hope you guys are listening. You guys are still here. Ah, I can see now. Okay. What is the unconscious? And then we will go to where is it? Can someone tell me what the unconscious is? कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Storeroom, excellent. Dreams, excellent. Drives, unthought known. बोलास का definition है ये. शांभवी ने जो दिया है. Reservoir, primitive instincts, the not conscious, black hole. I'll come to that. समुद्र की गहराई में, can't see. सुपर ईगो भी नहीं देख सकते. If you're talking about it, is it even unconscious anymore? Thoughts which we are not aware of. Suppressed thought, feelings, dreams, desire. Excellent, excellent. Now, where is the unconscious? इंदौर में है, दिल्ली में है, यूके में है, जेब में है आपके. Where is it? Can you order it from Blinkit? Doesn't exist. अरे नहीं 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 करता है. I'll tell you where it is. रिलेशनली प्रेजेंट ऑफ कोर्स, एक्सीलेंट। दिमाग में है, अच्छा दिमाग कहाँ है? घुटने में। तो घुटना कहाँ है? Christ entrance, they ask for ID. Oh my Christ, every day they ask for my aid, man. It's like, I don't have only. If I showed you my aid, they'll remove me from the college. Dynamic theorists arguing that it's located in the body, including the brain. Okay. One doesn't go unnoticed. No, no. We are appreciating your पंचन। कहाँ है तू? अच्छा, द फेमस आइसबर्ग मॉडल अपेरेंटली जो फ्रॉइड ने बनाया था, जो नहीं बनाया था उसने, हाउ डज दैट डिस्क्राइब द अनकॉन्शियस? It's an iceberg, पानी में है, conscious is the part that you can see above it, and then below there's a huge ice block which is the unconscious. So then we internalize that representation in our minds because that's what we have been taught. We think in our mind there exists these three layers कि ओके, सबसे ऊपर कॉन्शियस रहता है, उसके नीचे प्री कॉन्शियस, एंड देन बिलो दैट इज द अनकॉन्शियस, राइट? This is not the case. Can you see? Have you ever seen it happen? Unconscious is everywhere. It's in your body, it's in your relations, it's in the front of your face, it's in the back, it's in the left side, it's in the right side, it's above you, it's around you, it's inside, outside. Okay? Omnipresent नहीं, ऐसा नहीं कि it's मतलब ये wall में भी है, ऐसा है. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the idea that unconscious is, somewhere below, right? As a deep, dark storeroom है ना? That idea is what I want to break here. Your unconscious plays with you through dreams, right? अच्छी dreams भी आती है ना, should be declared as part of it. So unconscious is not just present in a deep, dark cave where all the repressed desires, एक definition पढ़ के गया क्योंकि this is what the unconscious is now. Okay, but that is not what it is only. Okay, it's present in front of you, behind you, it's present in when you are not texting back your friend, it's present in when you are passing a passive aggressive comment, it's present in when you're uh, in your self talk, when in your self deprecating humor, it's present in, you give me examples now, where is it present? अब बताओ, between the lines, excellent. Just specific to you, where do you think your unconscious is? Leadership decisions, behaviors. When I procrastinate, excellent. In nerves, in your gut, excellent. When you're not able to remember, like, okay, pauses, great. When you want to leave class, nice. Bus 5 minutes. I think for me, it's an alter ego. Okay. This is how I want you to understand personality. We will go through Freud's idea of the unconscious. We will go through Freud's idea of, say, Thanatos. We'll understand how Klein deconstructed it. What meaning does it have for you? If you understand this, then your MCQ will not be the problem anymore. Then you will be able to solve the MCQ. Okay. Black hole, any insights? That's what I'm saying. No, we think of this it as a, it'll suck everything in. We detach our unconscious from ourselves because we're afraid of it at some level. We don't want it near us. But you have to understand it. Okay. Mind is a house. Yes. Chalo. And I think we will go to MCQs. बताओ quickly, 2 minutes में we will finish MCQs. Mm, everyone is saying C. Okay, okay. What personality can be shaped out of neglect of caregiver during infancy? All cases can be made for many personality disorders. We talked about hate giving rise to schizoid PD and antisocial PD in the first slide. तो वो तो हट जाएगा. It's not OCPD also. What remains is dependent PD. Okay. All right. Next MCQ. And this is, I think, easier. बताओ बताओ. Great, great. Okay, you are right. Carl Jung did believe that you have to undergo individuation, develop a personal identity, and individuation is the integration of all parts of the self, including the shadow. Okay, shadow क्या होता है? The part that wants to kill the dog when you look at it, right? Cute dog when you see or a very cute baby. We'll come to it. Okay, don't worry. This is too easy. Your voice broke. Did you say neglect creates dependency? No, no, no. इतना causal statement I will never make only. I'm saying it can out of the options. Please don't say that. Oh God, what did I say? Yeah, the kill the dog thing. What are you saying? You've never seen like a small cute baby or a dog and wanted to just okay, it is the trait approach. ये बताओ. Second last question. No. Okay. Hidden shadow. Cuteness, aggression, energy. Yes, self-actualization as a human motivation. Catalog of human motives may be saw related to Carl Rogers. Great. And the last question for today. Also easy. सही कर रहे हैं. Carl Jung individuation, Erikson identity, Rogers actualization, Adler social interest. Okay, and with that, today's lecture, my lecture is over. I'll hand it over to Shannon in 1 minute, but I hope you guys don't go, which I think Shannon will address you for a minute before ending. But yes, thank you for listening so intently, for interacting. Itna so many answers. Uh, I saw so many answers that I couldn't even read them all. I hope you had fun. I hope you understood. I hope some interest was evoked, or which was not. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you later. Shannon, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, nothing from my end much. Just that
Carl Jung talked
tomorrow,
about
same time, 6 to 8,
yes.
we have some very fun people coming up. And yeah, we really hope that you liked this. Again, today we are not going to make it very prep related. We'll slowly go into it and build that. Let's meet tomorrow and let's see how we take it from there. We have some fun stuff. Okay, same
Yes.
stuff. We'll send the link for the live thing tomorrow as well. Okay. Again, Coldplay concert. Okay. Chalo. Bye bye, people.
Bye bye. Good
Night. Bye
night.
bye.
Un Unthought known bolas talked about. Chalo.